Welcome to the 24th episode of ML Backstage. My name is Mars Luna.
And I'm Ethan.
And we're introducing this podcast straight from the sixth dimension. This is a music commentary podcast hosted by Joshua Luna, and Kainalu Kamai is back for a full episode this time. It was midnight Eastern Standard Time for Holokahiki Toves, so he wasn't able to make it this time. In this episode, Kainalu and Joshua are going down memory lane as they talk about the ukulele version of These Damn Feelings. Back to planet Earth we go!
Welcome to episode 24 of the ML Backstage podcast. I'm Joshua Luna here with Kainalu Kamai, who is working on his sister's surfboard right now. As I can see here for all the YouTube listeners out there. It's just the two of us today. Holokahiki Toves is not going to be here today because it is close to midnight in Georgia and the three of us are separated by 6 hours. So
yeah,
time difference is real. Shout out to daylight savings time one time. Fortunately enough for Hawaii people, they don't have to experience it. So good for y'all. But Nalu, how you been, bro? How's March been?
Fantastic. So far, it's nothing but good vibes.
Good vibes. That's good. That's right on.
Get a little bit better than where I was.
Nice.
You go with that.
And yeah, I think March has been a pretty eventful month. Honestly, it's probably one of the busiest months I've had in a long time. There was just a lot of event after event after event, and at work we're preparing for Easter. That's coming up in a few weeks, so a lot of my time has been kind of prepping towards that or preparing towards that. And I was sick, and I think in Vegas there's been a bug going around because there have been people that have been getting sick, and I got sick last week, and it's a mixture of allergies and the flu and a bunch of other nonsense. But I'm better now. We're good. And lost in all the madness of March was the release of Mars Luna's These Damn Feelings.
The ukulele version too.
Ukulele version, that's right. So
Classic.
It's a classic. So this is actually a song. It was released officially under the Genesis EP, but this is a special version because this was the very, very first song that was made for Mars Luna. And it was put out in the music video that Nalu, Kainalu, Holo, and our friend Whitney were a part of way back in the summer of 2016, so 6.5 years ago. And now it's we made the executive decision to come out to put it out there because it's album season. And I'm gonna get to why it took so long to release this version. But Nalu, Kainalu, from your perspective, because we worked on this song together.
Yep.
What was These Damn Feelings about?
Oh man, I knew it started from that. Was it Snapchat or Instagram story?
It was Snapchat.
Yeah, it was a Snapchat post that I randomly drew a little wave with a stick figure surfer on it, drawing or dropping it on a wave, and he's falling off, and it's like these damn feelings on the bottom.
Yep.
Which is basically me in a way.
Pretty much. I don't even know who you were, if you're crushing over anyone at that time or whatever, but I thought that title was an epic title. So I was like, you know what? Because for those who may not know, Kainalu and I have made music, throughout the years. And, it was just like, let's just write a song. You know what I'm saying? Let's just write it. And
story.
Yep. And we ended up writing the song the next day, and we actually for the second verse or so we used we used a chorus from one of Kainalu's songs that he wrote when we were back in either high school or college. It was like Will You Watch the Sunrise with Me, I think was the name of
There
the
we go.
song. Will
Probably
You Watch
that
the
one.
Sunrise with Me?
Probably was.
And we kind of put that thing in there, and I came up with the melody, and we finished it within the next day or so. And as far as the production went for this song, I don't remember any of it. I lost like the actual project file because it was on a older computer. But I knew that I made it on GarageBand without any idea on like how to mix or master or what any of that stuff meant, right? And you know, I just remember using a guitar, not guitar, ukulele, and there were some other instruments in there. I do know that I had my friend Michael to hop on background vocals, so shout out to Michael Leary one time. He helped out with that version a lot, and the Genesis version, I might add. And you know, the reason why I'm releasing this version now is because I'll probably say it was because at the time when I made it in 2016, streaming wasn't really as big of a thing back then.
No, it wasn't.
It was more so iTunes. It was more so pre-orders. It was more so like Bandcamp, and you know, I didn't know how to put music on streaming platforms at the time, and I also at the time didn't know if the song was good enough to be put on there. But it was also written during a time where it was like I felt motivated because, you know, if you go back to episode 1 or the earlier episodes of the ML Backstage, we've talked about our friend Holo a bunch of times. And you know, after her battle with cancer, I made the decision to kind of, you know, start music, to at least try to put my best foot forward in doing it, you know, professionally as I could, because, you know, I told her after we graduated that I was going to put out a record someday, and she wasn't alive to see that happen. So, you know, I put that thing out. I put These Damn Feelings out there. It was actually the very first song that I put on SoundCloud and Bandcamp, and it's still up on SoundCloud and Bandcamp, just so people are out there. But, you know, it's obviously out on Spotify and Apple now, so, you know, it is what it is. But that was mainly the reason why it wasn't released from till 2023, even though I made it back in 2016. And as I mentioned earlier, we made a music video for it way back in 2016 when I first made the song, you know, and it kind of just reminded us of, like, you know, why we, you know, just what it meant to actually create for fun. You know, we didn't know what the goals or the expectations were. We were just creating. And Nalu, for, you know, because you were the main actor in the video. You probably talked about this in episode 1, so which, to those who are watching and listening, you can go check out Genesis Exploring Your Purpose. You can check that out on all your podcast platforms. But what was your perspective of, you know, the music video now that it's been 6.5 years that it's been out?
Oh man, looking back at that video, it was actually really fun to work on. But also does show how much you have grown as an artist from that time point to now, especially what we can create versus back what we made back then.
Right.
A lot of nostalgia in that video though.
Super. It's probably one of the most iconic Martin Luther songs of all time. But, you know, it's one of the highlights I remember from that video. It got cut was we didn't really have like a whole idea of what we were gonna do. We were just figuring out on the fly. And I told Kainalu and Whitney, the girl lead in the video, to basically walk from point A to point B.
That's the iconic part right there.
And the thing is, Kainalu, if to those who don't know Kainalu, he's a guy who kind of just does his own thing almost all the time. And if you're watching on YouTube, he's busy working on a surfboard right now. But he couldn't even get from point A to point B without leaving Whitney behind. And we had to kind of figure out like how we were gonna move, because I basically had to make them walk together, and that didn't happen. But it was a classic moment. It was funny, and and I also remember because we were going from because we were at this like cliff on Oahu called Spitting Caves, and it's a majestic view with with a huge cliff, and then there's the Pacific Ocean right in front of you, and there have been people who have dived off that giant cliff. And we also went to another area like right next door called Cockroach Cove, and it was the cove was basically surrounded by water when we went.
It was kind of sketchy.
It was very sketchy. But then like while we were filming like some scenes of the video, Holo and I were kind of just messing around on Snapchat, trying to like, initiate something between you and Whitney at the time.
That was hilarious. I'm like, what's going on?
It was like, what was going on? And I don't know if Whitney hung out with us after the shoot, but we, Kainalu, Holo, and I went to Zippy's, and Zippy's is for the mainline listeners, Zippy's is basically a chain of Hawaii comfort food, basically. And
it's like a Denny.
Yes, that's basically what it is. And we were hanging out, and then hanging out, and Kainalu could not stop talking about Whitney the whole time. And I was like, oh, this man got a crush, bro, so bad. And this man is different. And it's funny because it kind of, now that I look back at it, it's kind of like a foreshadow to like, Whitney kind of resembles like what kind of women you're into now. So it's absolutely hilarious. But but like he couldn't stop talking about Whitney, and Holo and I were basically saying like, bro, just eat your Korean fried chicken already.
Bro.
Yeah, it was some fun times, and like looking back at that video, and like kind of like what you were talking about, like making how much things have changed since then, but the more things change, the more things stay the same. And it's always a reminder for me to just have fun. Like if I'm creating anything, just have fun, and everything else that happens afterwards is a cherry on top. Kainalu, quick question. Since this song, These Damn Feelings, the ukulele version, was written in 2016. And I didn't even know how to put the song on like Apple and stuff like that until like a couple months later. How do you think the landscape of music has changed from 2016 to 2023?
Oh, that's a really good question. I noticed a lot of changes in the genres, artists coming out, music styles. That's 2016 to now. Yeah, it's a lot of change in music lately. Kind of a lot more, well, not more pop, but seeing a lot more different styles and trends. Kind of hard to explain because I only dwell so much in certain genres of music right now.
Yeah.
But even I experience changes in that side of music as well.
Well,
But
I mean, I think TikTok has kind of shaped a lot of
yeah,
how
greatly.
music has been, how a lot of today's music and stuff like that, and a lot because of TikTok, a lot of the songs are shorter. Like it's it's not as common to hear like a 4 minute, 5 minute song
Yeah,
anymore. Um, which coincidentally, the These Damn Feelings ukulele
it is
version is like about 5 minutes long.
yeah.
But I think, I also, because, like I said earlier, because the um because it was written, because this song These Damn Feelings was written in 2016. I felt like, you know the songs that were made back then had a little more value,
Yeah, more meaning.
maybe, than what they're presented now, because there's so much out there now. It's easy to
There is.
put songs out on Spotify and Apple Music nowadays. And like, even there's even like sped up versions of songs and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I think, and because of the advancements in streaming and stuff like that, it's, a lot of the um a lot of the music nowadays is mainly tailored towards the consumers. um and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. It's just more so like the artists do get the short end of the stick because of like what the
Yep.
currency exchanges for like Spotify and Apple and stuff like that, because of streaming. I do think, though, and I have a semi bold prediction, that we're gonna go back to doing physical stuff, like physical, like CDs or vinyls. Well, vinyls is kind of a cult thing now, but like, more selling more CDs and selling more. There's going to be more of a hustle, I guess, with more physical stuff. Because everything comes and goes and comes back again. Everything in art,
Yep.
whether it's like fashion, music, even movies, like whatever is, whatever is popping, whatever is trending, it'll eventually go away, and there'll be new ways to do older stuff again. So I think there'll be a comeback. There'll be a comeback of physical CDs, and um, you know, and vinyl being a more regular thing, and more intentionality on
Yeah.
merchandise and stuff like that, for those who aren't touring, basically. And I'll say probably like either from 5, 10, 15 years. Not in the immediate future, but in the distant future for sure.
But sometimes. Hmm.
Um,
I can see
and
that happening.
yeah, I mean, like, even in fashion, like, I see like women wearing like bootleg jeans again. Like, that wasn't a thing
Oh
back
yeah.
in the 2010s. Like, skinny jeans were like were popping
One
back
of the things
then.
big.
And now it's becoming more, okay, flared pants is coming back, or like people are revisiting the 90s, or revisiting Y2K, or
Or did you
they're,
see the
huh?
Astro Boy shoes?
The Astro Boy, what happened?
You know the Astro Boy anime?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, there's the shoes. They made the shoes now. The
Oh,
big
yeah,
the,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
that's
That's
actually popular. I'm surprised.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, I
That's
guess.
But I mean, like, I mean, like, people, I feel like nowadays it's like people are longing for, there's like a nostalgia that lingers around in the past. But
Hmm.
I mean, that's also kind of what happens when you aren't able to make anything that kind of lasts forever. So, that's neither here nor there. But
Gotta adapt.
and I think that kind of, I think because there's an abundance of technology, there's an abundance of, people releasing music or putting out movies or putting out, whatever content is out there now. I sometimes I wonder what this era, the 2020s era, will be remembered in 2050 or something like that. So because we keep going back, we keep going back and trying to make old things new again.
That's true.
And these damn feelings, going back to these damn feelings, is another example of that. So, and speaking, of these damn feelings and our, the emotions that come with having a crush or having, someone you're infatuated with or you want to get to know better. Holokahiki Toves brought up the topic of emotional intelligence in the last episode. And I guess, to those who are new here, thank you for hopping on and, watching me and Kainalu just vibe out. And while Nalu works on his surfboard over here, basically ML Backstage is a podcast that that I've created for my, project, my alter ego or stage name called Mars Luna, the self-proclaimed cosmic prince, space alien singer, and cosmic Casanova from the sixth dimension. And this whole thing is basically, a time capsule for me to kind of look back in the future and be like, oh, this is what happened when I did this song, or when I did this album, or those kind of things. So that's basically what it was. It was initially created out of frustration because, music wasn't going so well for me at the time of episode 1 came out, but everything's better now. And at the end of every episode, we usually talk about the we have a question of sorts that kind of ties into the topic of the episode, whether it's a fun question, whether it's a philosophical question, whether it's a general question, intellectual question, all that. It all ties into the songs or EPs or albums general theme. And the Holokahiki Toves brought up emotional intelligence in the last episode. So the question for this episode is, what is emotional intelligence to you? And how emotionally intelligent are you?
Can I Google that real quick?
Yeah, bro. I'll go first.
Okay.
So I would say emotional intelligence for me is being able to, in simple terms, to me, it's basically like understanding your feelings and understanding how other people are feeling. And and just being able to communicate based on how you're feeling or the other person's feeling. And like, say if someone is happy, you're happy for them, right? It's pretty if they're your friends and you care about them, right? Or like, if you're if you're angry, or someone else is angry, you ask someone like, what's wrong, or like, is everything okay, or whatever. So I just Googled emotional intelligence, And emotional intelligence is most often defined as the ability to perceive, use, understand, manage, and handle emotions. And it's basically, basically, like I said, seeing how, understanding how you're feeling and using and communicating with people, knowing knowing how to communicate, with, with the proper emotion, basically. Being able to respond properly with the correct emotions and everything. It's basically what it is. And the 5 principles of emotional intelligence are essentially self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. And I feel like I'm very self-aware. So I'm pretty attuned to, my own emotions and my own feelings and my own thought processes and stuff like that. And it also channels its way onto, empathy. Like if someone's going through a rough time, I can probably empathize with it if I can, um, you know, relate to their experiences, and that kind of thing. And in the case of these damn feelings, to channeling it back to that song, infatuation is a weird thing because once you're infatuated with someone, it's all feelings, right? You're kind of blinded by, oh, I only see this person this way, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make that person mine, even if I don't see if I don't see like the red flags or whatever right away. The emotions are still too strong when you're infatuated. And I don't know if that's really like the best example of like emotional intelligence, but I think I've gotten better at this as I've gotten older, and I've developed more friendships with different women and different dudes and stuff like that. And I would say I can always be better with emotional intelligence, but it can be better. It can be better because I'm the type of person that's like, because I'm introverted and I oftentimes want people to leave me alone. I don't bother. Huh?
Nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, not in a bad way. It's just more so like I enjoy my own company most of the time. Like, I don't make plans unless it's with the homies. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like I'm not the biggest people person, but I've gotten a lot better at emotional intelligence and stuff over time. So Kainalu, in your opinion, or what is emotional intelligence and how emotionally intelligent are you?
Emotional intelligence, in my opinion, is somebody that understands all types of feelings, good and bad, from all different perspectives, high and low, and all walks of life. That's something I probably could say I kind of go by in some form of way. Something like that.
Yeah.
And then, what was the other part?
What? How emotionally intelligent are you? Like, are you good at it?
I wouldn't know what the level it is, but I would say I'm somewhere up there, but not crazily high, but to an understanding where I can figure out a lot of people's emotions and kind of match with them or see where they're going or coming from in some formal way too.
Yeah. for sure. Do you think, like if you were to apply, if you were to put yourself in the vantage point of like these damn feelings,
Yes.
super infatuated, you can only see, all you can only see is this person, she the one, nobody else is the one, even though you're not able to see the blinders. Do you think that's a sign of, high emotional intelligence or no?
Oh, that's actually, it's actually sort of bad in some form of way. Then you won't really be able to see outside the box,
Yeah, exactly.
as well as other options around you, not just right there in front of you, like how I
Yeah,
always think that.
Joe just chance them in the morning.
Yeah, that's not the right way to do it, people. Don't do it.
Don't just dive in head first without knowing the situation or the context.
Yeah, take the surf report first, please.
Check the surf report.
That's how you emotional intelligence.
There we go. I like that. You're trying to transfer emotional intelligence into the currents in the surf. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I love it.
we'll go with that.
But anyway, I would probably say, thank you so much to everyone who's watched or listened to this episode of the ML Backstage podcast. We're 24 episodes in, and we're on the verge, and not on the verge, but we are in album season. We're in the thick of it right now, even though it feels like I'm mixing album season with a bunch of other things that are going on right now. And These Damn Feelings was released because it is album season, and they're, like I said, what's old is made new again. And spoiler alert, there will be a new version of These Damn Feelings coming up on the album.
Oh, what is EDM remix?
EDM remix of These Damn Feelings. You're caught up in it.
You never know. I could probably make one.
Well, I mean, like I can think of some other songs that would have a fire EDM
better.
remix. I don't know about that one, but we'll see. But yeah, I lost track. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who's been watching and listening. I'll have new episodes either with Kainalu, Holokahiki, all three of us together, or a mixture of that with some special guests and stuff like that. We were supposed to have a special guest today, but she couldn't make it, and it's all good. Shout out to Whitney, for killing it in the video for These Damn Feelings, and
yeah,
and it's always a fun time. But you can follow me on Instagram at Luna B Joshua. You can follow Mars Luna on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at It's Mars Luna. You can follow him on Spotify and Apple Music at Mars Luna. I'd rather you follow him there, to be honest. And you can check out the music website at itsmarsluna.com. You got a lot of new music coming in the summertime, so be on the lookout for that, and be on the lookout for the new version of These Damn Feelings as well on the aforementioned album. And it'll be 3 versions of this song, the most amount of versions I have of any song, period. And this song is an iconic one in the Mars Luna catalog. And the story of this song, with Nalu drawing his figure of himself falling off the wave with a surfboard, is always a story that I loved telling when I played this song a lot back in the day. So just be on the lookout for everything that's about to come in the summer and fall time. And yeah, and also Also, I know Holokahiki Toves is not on this episode today, but he reinstalled Instagram again
We'll follow that guy.
because the first. Well, okay, Nalu, what do you think
Yeah.
about Holo getting a new Instagram since he's not on here again?
Good new beginnings, I guess, right? Because he's in.
Beginnings,
He's
because my
in
first
place, so.
impression, yeah, right, new beginnings. I mean, I was surprised that he made one again, because it usually takes him about 2.5 years in order for him to go back on social media if he deletes it. But
Yep.
he's got it. To me, he's got his eye on someone and he's ready to shoot a shot. So he's ready to put himself out there again.
Yeah, I got that guy now. Well, guaranteed there's gonna be a song made after him. I'm sure.
There is one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There is one. I can make another one again.
Hey, there you go.
But yeah, you can follow Holo at Holokahiki Toves. That is HOLOKAHIKITOVES on Instagram and YouTube. And Kainalu, you can plug in your K-pop fan account or your Instagram or Twitter or your phone number or whatever.
NALUMON photography on Instagram. Yeah, and you basically just type my name and you'll find me on Twitter and Discord.
Yeah, and basically the screen name is Hawaiian OPPA, Hawaiian OPPA, and Hawaiian _ OPPA on TikTok as well. And I forgot, and you can also follow Mars Luna on TikTok. I also have a personal TikTok account, but I don't have the password for it, so I gotta figure that out. But yeah, thanks again to everyone for watching and listening to this podcast episode. Stay tuned for next month's episode, because Mars Luna has a feature that's coming out on the 29th, and we're gonna have another special guest. So be on the lookout for April's episode, and hope you enjoy this episode as well, and hope you all enjoy these damn feelings. So as Mars Luna likes to say, embrace your odyssey, embrace the strange sign, and see you all in the next episode. Shoots.
I'm aware that I said that I was going to introduce a special guest for this episode in last month's show, but
the stars didn't align, so oh well.
Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the ML Backstage podcast. If you liked what you heard and saw, follow us on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube at ML Backstage. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at It's Mars Luna. You can find all my music on Spotify and Apple Music and on my website at itsmarsluna.com. Thank you all for listening, watching, and hanging out with us. Hope you're all enjoying this episode, and stay tuned for the next one next month, as I got new music and I'm going to introduce another special guest for it. For real this time.